Welcome everyone, this is Sean with MTG808 Jr. and today I've got Mike here.
What's going good?
And Eric is here in spirit.
Yes.
He definitely helped us do a lot of the prep for these videos. So we are continuing with our series about Standard Artisan deck seeds is what we're calling them, right? These are the starting points where we think the most powerful decks are going to grow out of. If you have been living under a rock and haven't been following any of our Artisan videos yet, we are switching from Standard Pauper to Artisan. Artisan is a format, commons and uncommons. We're very excited about it. And the ban list is Persistent Petitioners, Cauldron Familiar, Cavalcade of Calamity, and Gates of Blaze.
That's pretty fast, man. You said that done quick.
Yeah. So if you want more info on Artisan, go check out one of our previous videos. But today we're going to go over 3 more deck seeds for Artisan. So there it is. So the next one, we went over food, Blood for Bones Reanimation, and then like Revenge of Ravens, God Pharaoh, Tap Out Control last video. Check out that video if any of those pique your interest. Today we're gonna start off with one of my favorite draft archetypes in what was this, Ravnica Allegiance, right? Did you ever draft this format? No. Did you draft this deck?
I haven't drafted in a long time.
Oh my god, this deck was so much fun to draft in that limited set. So Dovin's Acuity is an enchantment, blue, a white, and a colorless. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and draw a card. And then whenever you cast an instant spell during your main phase, right? Because usually you want to cast your instant spells like on your opponent's turn, right? Or in response at the perfect time. But if you use it during your main phase instead, then you get to return Dovin's Acuity to its hand. So, what you want to do with this is you want to play a bunch of instants that are going to help you control the board, take the game long, and then you win the long game by just recasting Dovin's Acuity like 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a game.
Oh, man.
So, you know, you're going to want to play a bunch of instants. So, instant. And I don't know, I don't think that the mana is good enough in this format for you to play 3 colors. Yeah. It's like a very high cost for you to play 3 colors. So if you're already playing a slow deck, then, you know, playing a bunch of tap lands to make 3 colors work, you know, might be a little bit awkward. But,
what do you have there? Wait.
In white?
Oh, you have Summary Judgment, that's for sure.
Summary Judgment is there. And then... oh, that looks like it. But in blue, you have Opt. Right?
Unsummon.
You have maybe Unsummon, maybe Radical Idea. You know, Arrester's Addendum.
What was that one that you bounce a permanent and you amass?
That's a sorcery.
Oh, okay.
Chemist's Insight would trigger Dovin's Acuity. And then Sphinx's Insight if you wanted it to. I think Chemist's Insight is just strictly better. Yeah. So, Depose Deploy, you know, seems decent. So, like, you don't need all the spells in your deck to trigger Dovin's Acuity. You just need enough to make it worthwhile to play it. You're going to want to support this deck with... you know, some spot removal, right? More than just Summary Judgment. You in white, you get, there's like Glass Casket. They're reprinting Banishing Light and Theros.
That's right now.
Set. Let's see. Removal wise.
There's also destroy target tap creature. I think was it that card? It was in M20. I forgot what. Probably not in.
Glass Casket is here. Anything with mana cost 3 or less. It won't trigger Dovin's Acuity, but it will keep the board clear. Pacifism is.
Oh, you can play Raise the Alarm too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Raise the Alarm can trigger Dovin's Acuity and keep you alive.
Take Vengeance. I think was it? I think we missed Take Vengeance. Destroy target tap creature. I think what it does.
Yeah, you can play Prison Realm to help you stay alive. Again, it won't trigger Dovin's Acuity, but it'll it'll keep you alive. And then yeah. So just those are some options. In blue, you probably just want to play some counter spells. You might play, Hypnotic Sprite, Quench, Negate, Disdainful Stroke, some combination of those, Sinister Sabotage. Figuring out like the right mix for these control decks might be a little tricky, but that's kind of the fun of brewing, right? Narset would probably be very good in this deck. Yeah.
It'd be a crime if you don't put Narset in here.
Oh yeah. So, starting with Dovin's Acuity as like your card advantage engine, and then you just play enough instants that you can cast as a sorcery, to make sure that you can trigger it. And then, even if it's just 4 ops, 4 Chemister's Insight, and then like 4 Summary Judgment and some Depose Deploy, right? That's enough instants that you're going to pick up your Acuity to get, 3 or 4 cards off of it in a game. And then the rest of your deck is just there to control your opponent's board. And then you need to eventually win the game. So,
wait, Dovin's Dovin's Acuity when you cast an instant or sorcery on your turn? No, instant.
Just an instant whenever you cast it, during your main phase. Yeah. So when it comes to winning the game, you can play basically whatever you want. Elite Guard Mage will eventually win the game.
What's that blue double? Elite Guard Mage.
Yeah.
Or you can go with tokens. I think doesn't Dovin create tokens too?
This Dovin? No, it was the Mythic Dovin that made tokens.
Kasmina makes. I know. Was it Kasmina makes tokens?
Yeah, Kasmina does. You could play Saheeli.
Oh, that's right.
As your win condition. Right? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless token. Or you could just play the good old double Devious Cover-Up win condition.
Oh, that's gonna be harsh.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you're playing 2 Devious Cover-Ups and then like some Depose Deploys, then you can theoretically eventually kill your opponent. But it all depends on how you want to build the deck. So that's up to you guys. Take this and run. Let us know if you come up with a sweet one. Post it in the comments. But I'd love to see some of the kids brew with Dovin's Acuity. So that is our first one for this video. Next, we've got Elementals. So, boom. The big payoff here is Chandra.
Yeah.
Right? This is like the uncommon planeswalkers in War of the Spark all only had minus abilities.
Yes.
Whereas this uncommon planeswalker from M20 has a plus ability.
Yeah, that's
so this planeswalker can just like dominate the board. So her plus elemental you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. If every creature you control is an elemental, that is a huge ability to have on a plus. And then, of course, if you need her to make mana, you can for -1, and then -2, she shocks something.
Yeah,
right? So she can come down, kill your opponent's threat. If they can't kill her that turn, then she just starts pumping your dudes. Cloudkin Seer is an elemental. Mask makes an elemental.
Scorching Death Spitter.
Chandra's Embercat is an elemental and can help you play Chandra early. Scampering Scorcher. Right, make 3 elementals, give them all +2/+0 with Chandra, right? And then the really sweet part is that if you end up in green, which playing 3 colors is a really high cost, you get Creeping Trailblazer, right? 2 mana, 2/2 elemental. Other elementals get +1/+0, and then you can pay 4 mana to pump it for each elemental you have. And then Risen Reef. Oh man, Risen Reef is a beating. So Risen Reef is like one of those cards that was just like irritating everyone in Standard for a really long time. So if a card is good enough for a real Standard, then it's going to be good in Standard Artisan. So Risen Reef says, a green, a blue, and a colorless for a 1/1 elemental. Whenever Risen Reef or another elemental, that's the important line, enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't, put it into your hand. So
Gosh.
either you're drawing a card to your hand or you're drawing a card straight into play.
Oh,
Right.
man.
So you play this and you're for sure getting the top card of your deck either in your hand or in play, and then every other elemental that you play does that. So
And you have axe and you have the lightning. I think that there's a blue green. No, there's a blue. Yeah.
this
that,
guy,
like,
yeah. I
Storm?
mean, it all depends on how much you want to stretch your mana base. But this guy is, if you're just trying to play like elemental beatdown, then this guy is good. I don't know what the correct build is going to be. I do think that Chandra is the most powerful of the payoffs, so it
Yeah.
might be worth it to just keep the deck like red-green or blue-red. But, if you do try and go 3 colors, then you get these 3 really sweet uncommon elementals to go with Chandra. So
I think green. To me, I feel green. Green red will be like the best way to go, just because the mana base won't be as good. There was that one elemental.
green-red gives you Chandra's Embercat and Leafkin Druid to help ramp you into like your powerful 4-drops. So like Lavakin Brawler is the other elemental payoff.
Yes.
Right. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each elemental you control, including itself. So at very least, it's attacking as a 3/4. But like if you have a Scampering Scorcher in play, then it's going to be attacking as like a 10/4 or whatever.
I can still see Roseburn Halberd in this thing.
Yeah.
Even there's Healer of the Glade too. That's an elemental, a 1-drop.
Yeah, Healer of the Glade is it's there. I'm less excited about it. But like you could build it aggro. Like if you build it straight red green, then it would be more aggressive. You can play like Scorch Spitter and Healer of the Glade if you wanted to have a super low curve. If you wanted to make it a little more grindy, or tricksy, I guess you can play Cloudkin Seer or blue red for Cloudkin Seer, and then the Lightning Stormkin.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what the best build of this deck is, but these cards are powerful enough that there will be a deck including some mixture of them. I'm quite certain. Anything else to say about this archetype?
Man, I want to see this deck in action. In fact, I feel like I want to build this deck just.
Oh, this guy is really good too.
That's automatic right there. I think.
Overgrowth Elemental. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target elemental you control, and then whenever another creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. If the creature was an elemental, put a +1/+1 counter on this. So it comes in, buffs up something else, and then whenever your other elementals die, this grows. So lots of elemental synergies when we open up the uncommons. So there's got to be a deck. Red-green is probably where I would start.
Yeah.
But Risen Reef is just such a good card that I would be very tempted to.
I think Risen Reef is maybe a $2. I don't know, but yeah.
Maybe. Like you might just play red-green and then play like 6 tap lands for Risen Reef. I don't know. You would probably need to play more than that, but more blue sources.
Oh, and I think because this is probably a good budget deck. Was it budget deck? I don't know, but yeah, definitely elementals seems to be a nice creature type to play.
Let us know what your build of elementals ends up looking like.
Tell us.
This next one.
Oh, I'm gonna love this one.
When the event was going on Magic Online or on Arena, I heard that this was the most popular archetype in the event. So
Lucky Clover.
Yeah. Lucky Clover. So Edgewall Innkeeper, this guy is seeing tons of play in real standard. Lucky Clover is seeing a little less than Edgewall Innkeeper, but still seeing a fair amount of play in real standard. So these are your adventure payoffs. Edgewall Innkeeper, 1 green, 1/1, Human Peasant. Whenever you cast a creature spell that has an adventure, draw a card. That happens even if you didn't send it on the adventure first, so you can just play it from your hand and then you draw a card. And then Lucky Clover says, whenever you cast an adventure, instant, or sorcery spell, you copy it. So when you cast the adventure side of the creature, then you get 2 copies of it. Ooh. So, if you cast Beanstalk Giant for your, you go turn 2 Lucky Clover, turn 3 Beanstalk Giant, you get 2 untapped lands, and then you play something else.
Oh, that's a mean. Right? That would be a mean curve. Turn 1 Innkeeper, turn 2 Lucky Clover, turn 3.
Turn 3 Beanstalk Giant, play 2 File Mire Knights, draw 2 cards.
Wait, does it enter tapped or untapped?
No, Beanstalk comes in untapped. Put it onto the battlefield.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
the card advantage.
Yeah, I think the best adventure creatures, I think, are in black because you get Foulmire Knight, you get Order of Midnight, Smitten Swordmaster is decent. And then like the green ones, Curious Pair, Flaxen Intruder, those guys are kind of like meh. But Beanstalk Giant is for sure sweet.
I think this is argument for this one.
Yeah, like if you wanted to try build it green white, I wouldn't hold it against you, but I think that because like, you know, Fairy Guide Mother and Shepherd of the Flock. Shepherd of the Flock is cool with Innkeeper because you can like continuously bounce. If you have two of them, you have one of them bounce the other one to your hand, and then you play it, you draw a card with Innkeeper, and then you use the adventure of the one that you just picked up to return the second one to your hand, and then you just keep going and you draw a card each time.
That's gross.
Yeah, so if you wanted to build it green white, I think that would be a viable build, but most of the people that I saw talking about this were playing green black. Also, Reaper of Night is just a punch to the face if you have a Lucky Clover in play.
Yeah, it's like that.
Like,
that's pretty much their whole hand.
Turn 2 Lucky Clover, turn 4 you discard 4 cards. Like, that's basically their entire hand. So I think this deck is very powerful.
Seems fair too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this deck mostly builds itself, right? You're gonna want to play some number of removal spells, maybe some pump spells if you want to, but yeah, you're just going to be jamming 4 of all your adventure creatures. And then the adventure creatures act as your spells. So
what is it? And it enters when it comes in. What does it do?
It's a 4/5.
Oh no, the Beanstalk Giant.
Oh, it's a power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Beanstalk Giant just comes in and it's like huge. It's a 7/7.
Gadzooks.
Or bigger. Yeah. So this deck, just if it has adventure on it, you want to consider putting it in this deck. This deck almost builds itself. Yeah, but I think Edgewall Innkeeper might be one of the slightly more expensive cards.
Is it?
We can check.
Oh, 11 cents.
Oh, no, I lied. I guess there's enough people shredding open Throne of Eldraine. Yeah, so this deck builds itself super sweet, probably going to be very powerful. I wouldn't be very surprised if this was anything outside of tier 1.5. Yeah, so that's it for our 3 deck seeds for this video. Let us know what you think of them.
Yes.
As always, if you want us to look at a specific archetype or whatever, let us know. We'll take it into consideration, but also keep your eyes peeled. We got at least 2 more videos like this coming, and we'll be continuing to explore the starting places of the format. So,
yes.
Thanks for stopping by, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
Laters.